asked for some help. I asked to see if this was really something I needed to know. And I looked up and saw... Hello everyone! I'm Bobbi Rowntree, born medium. Welcome to our latest video. Today we are going to talk about appearances, and which sounds kind of funny, doesn't it? Doesn't sound like a topic that I would usually go into, but appearances is just the word that I am seeing. So to me, actually, what they want me to talk about is how things can appear to you to be a certain way just because based on what you have seen before. That sometimes messages that you're getting from the other side, from the spirit world, even from your higher self, can be masked in a way to make you pay attention that you actually might see that might appear to be something else. One of the ones that I'm meaning is pain. Pain can appear to be, and is very often, your body letting you know that something is incorrect inside of you, that something isn't quite as it should be. Maybe pain is also a message from spirit, or from the spirit world, or from your guides, or from the other side, or from the angels, or from Creator itself, to tell you that there's something else going on, that there might be more to you, that there might be something you might want to pay attention to, because our body tells us what our mind is missing. So appearances can be deceiving. It can be really, really deceiving. Is okie dokie, the way in which we see messages that are outside of ourselves. Very, very, very often we're shown things that we don't decide to see. Like that. We can be shown things such as, okay, we'll go with fairies. Oh my goodness. Okay, so I believe I've seen fairies, and I believe those fairies appear to me as thousands and thousands of tiny, tiny little lights in a forest. I was at a crossroads in my brain as to whether or not I was going to pursue my spirituality and what that would look like for me. And I was on a give up sort of situation, and I asked for some help. I asked to see if this was really something I needed to know. And I looked up and saw, heard, felt, knew that these tiny, tiny, tiny little lights that I was seeing wasn't a strange group of flies that were being caught by the sunlight. I could have logically thought that that's what it was based on appearances and based on former stimuli that I have experienced. Also based on what my logical mind would tell me was there. But because I am who I am, and I've had to accept that my brain can take in different sort of situations and information than other people's brains can. Anyway, then it wasn't as difficult for me to see the appearance of all the tiny lights as actually fairies showing themselves to me to let me know that yes, I actually was on the right path and that I needed to stay where I was, or that there was more that I wanted to know, more that I wanted to investigate, and more that I wanted to see. Appearances can be and will be to certain extents based on the realities that you believe to be true. When things are new information, new messaging, like actually new information and messaging, we miss it because it doesn't appear to be something that we should adhere to, because it is something we have not seen, and it is something that our mind does not recognize. Well, because it's something we have not seen. So what do you do? How do you open yourself up to seeing things that you cannot see? Well, you guess. You look around and think, okay, well, if they're showing me things I cannot see, what might be there? Relax your mind, relax your inner knowing, and relax your vision. Allow yourself to see what actually might not be there. Now, a little voice inside of my head is telling me to allow your eyes to blur, and then therefore you will be able to see what you cannot see. But the other little part of me thinks that maybe this is not something that can be forced. Maybe this is not something that can be set out to do, but it is something that you can make yourself open to, that you can actually create the fertile ground for, that you can actually plant the roots of this idea and allow it to grow. Just like your chakras, because that's actually what I wanted to talk about. When we actually create our root, our base, and open up our root chakra, then the other chakras actually adhere a little bit better because they have a good strong base to adhere to. The same thing, in my opinion, happens with your disbelief or in your ability to see what appears not to be there. We are programmed within our brains to believe certain things to be true. For 98% of it, I actually believe that's a darn good thing. And we need to believe those things to be true in order to get along here. But there is that other 2% of things that you can actually see that you tell your brain you do not see. It is part of your intuition. It is part of your knowing. It is part of your ability to see things and experience things that are beyond your actual corporeal body's abilities. I believe that one of the reasons why I am able to see, hear, and feel so strongly is because I have always heard, seen, and felt things so strongly. I have had people invading in my brain since birth. So when I actually went to hone that, it was a relief to me because it helped me to see that I wasn't crazy and that there was actually something going on. But if you're born sane, if you're born not able to see those things, how do you fool your brain into believing it does? How do you tell your brain that, okay, that actually is grandma standing over there. She's in front of the pile of laundry. She is not the pile of laundry. How do you allow your brain to know that? Fanciful ideas is the first thing that comes to my mind. You believe it to be true. You believe what you want to believe, and therefore you actually bring some reality into your experience. Believing is seeing, and seeing is believing. It's actually a line from the Santa Claus, I'm sorry to say, but it's a great line because it's so true. I am as psychic as I am because I've put in the work to create more psychic pathways, but I was born this way, so creating those pathways isn't as difficult for me because my brain is already wired to believe this to be true. If your brain is not already wired to believe this to be true, then it might actually be a tiny bit more difficult for you. And you may have to baby step yourself into seeing the things that you might think are not there, that are actually there. You do not need to be in a drug-induced state to do this. The drug-induced state just actually lets down all the defenses, so it seems as though the drugs are facilitating the vision. But all they are doing is allowing you to facilitate it for yourself because you believe the drugs will help you. If you went and took a baby aspirin and somebody told you, hey, this is super psychedelic, you are going to see stuff you didn't know you could see. What if that actually worked? What if you actually did start to see stuff you didn't know you could see? Never tried this experiment of a placebo effect on this, but who knows? It could actually be true. Thank you for watching this video. I hope it was helpful and I hope it informed. And please, if you have questions, if you have ideas for other videos, if you have comments, anything that you want me to address or that you would like to maybe address at me, please leave them below. I can be reached at trinityyogaandspiritualservices.com, trinityyogaandspiritualservices.com. gmail.com. I'm also on Instagram at Bobbi Rowntree Born Medium, and I'm on Facebook at Bobbi Rowntree Spiritual Medium. I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you for watching our video. Namaste.